Good evening. I'm Misty Slayback. I have some exciting news on the education front. It is called Process-Oriented Guided Inquiry Learning, or pogil. Let's go to the teachers to learn more.
Process-Oriented Guided Learning, or pogil, combines process-oriented learning and guided inquiry approach. In the process-oriented classroom, students work in small groups on specially designed activities intended to develop mastery of both course content and key process skills. In the guided inquiry classroom, students work in groups to construct knowledge too. The activities use the learning cycle paradigm similar to Piaget's research. The student teaches, discusses, and learns from other students while the teacher facilitates the learning process. Therefore, pogil is a pedagogic method devised to teach process skills as well as content using an inquiry-based learning approach. Some examples of process skills are information processing, problem solving, teamwork, assessment, critical thinking, communication, management, and more. Pogil uses guided inquiry learning, a learning cycle of exploration, content invention, and application, as a basis for many of the carefully designed materials that students use to guide them in constructing new knowledge. Pogil is a student-centered teaching strategy.
In pogil, learners work in teams of 3 to 5 on scripted activities that guide them through inquiries that model discovery to help them construct knowledge. The teams will follow the process with specific roles, steps, reports, etc. The activities are designed to achieve the learning objectives in both content and process.
pogil has 7 key components: learning teams, guided inquiry activities, questions to promote critical thinking, problem solving, reporting, metacognition, individual responsibility. And as most teachers in the elementary and high school will need an 8-component grades. pogil improves retention, content mastery, learning skills, attitude, and motivation.
Let's discuss the roles of a teacher in a pogil classroom. Pogil focuses on developing self-directed, independent learners. Well, we know the teacher is the facilitator, not the sage on the stage, but the guide on the side. Teachers want to help students to understand key concepts, build on and extend what they know, solve problems, work in teams, and communicate in both written and oral forms. Teachers need to be creative and write clear task instructions when developing a pogil activity. The teacher must be able to motivate their students throughout this experience. Teachers must remember to use the 3 types of questions that go from simple to complex. The first is directed, which helps to develop context and confidence. The second is convergent, which leads toward concept formation. Lastly is divergent, which encourages future exploration. Reports help both the teacher and the students to see and think about what happens within the team's project. Remember, getting learners to think about their learning is key to becoming better learners. Some issues that teachers must consider is what textbooks to use, topics to cover, quality of lectures, homework to assign, question for exams, and how to assign grades. Some of the challenges that a teacher faces are students' inexperience with critique and reflection, students' perception of the learning process, the environment not conducive to small group work, and examining effectiveness of teaching strategy requires additional measures. Some of the advantages are: some students prefer this method to death by PowerPoint, active learning, and self-assessment tends to be higher across the board. Now let's discuss student roles within pogil. They learn to access existing knowledge while creating or building new knowledge for themselves, by asking the right questions and finding the right answers to develop a new model or concept. Some roles that the students can have in a team are manager, recorder, importer, spokesperson, reflector, presenter, doubter, technician, encourager, fact-checker, and many more. Students should work in teams, combine content with process, connect multiple concepts and representations, receive prompt and regular feedback, reflect on process and progress, and follow learning cycle to construct knowledge. Student responsibilities are that each student has a role and roles rotate, know they depend on each other, and freeloading is discouraged. Students need to know that learning is an active process.
The pros and cons in pogil. It can scale reasonably between small and large courses or content. Sorry about that. It can be used daily, weekly, or occasionally. You can use paper and or technology for activities and reporting. It adapts to varied languages and cultures. Teachers are seen as the guide on the side and not the sage on the stage. Some of the cons: it is harder to predict and control the class, and it requires lots of time and effort to design the activities.
Research shows that people learn better when they work in teams, combine content and process, construct knowledge, follow the learning cycles, connect multiple concepts and representations, receive prompt, regular feedback, and reflect on the process and progress. Therefore, student teams learn, understand, and remember more. Processes provide helpful scaffolding. Students learn process skills such as communication and teamwork. Students can answer each other's questions. Teachers answer more difficult questions. The best way to learn is to teach. Research done at Franklin and Marshall College found that students achieved greater success in pogil classes and were prepared for subsequent courses taught in the traditional style.
POGIL, or process-oriented guided inquiry learning, sounds like an exciting hands-on approach to learning. I can't wait to see what new developments come of it. This is Misty Slayback signing off.